Hello, my name is Veronica, and welcome to the Learning Lab, episode number 40, my finalized Buddy Swap page. Come on into today's lab and let me share with you how I finished up this cute little 6x6 page. The last time we were in the lab together, I shared with you how I put together this little cute focal point for my 6x6 pages. I also shared how I colored my ribbon to match and cutting down this awesome paper from We Are Memory Keepers into a 6x6 format. So I want to bring back in this sample to share you how I went from my focal to the entire card. I'd like to start down at the bottom with the strip that's behind the flowers. And what I did for that was that I took this 6x6 sheet of paper and cut it into 1.5 inch strips. Then took it through my Martha Stewart border punch, and I'd like to show you how I did that. To get my punch, I put it in and then I lined it up with that line right here just on the edge. I know there are some old hands at crafting, but for the newbies, they may want to know just how did you do that. So once I had my edge lined up, I gave it a press down on the punch. I took it out and continued to go down the line by lining it up with the side. There's a little place that if you slide it, you can see your picture. Just line that up, give it another press down, and just continue lining it up and pressing it down all the way. Notice you have those two little strips which I just snipped off. But then also turn it around, upside down, line it up, going back the other way. Once you finish punching all of your pieces, you're going to end up with a strip that looks like this. I simply took my strips, looked at them to see what pattern would match the card that I was working on at the time. Once I matched those up, I took some of my Tim Holtz Distress inks, went around the edges and inked those just to bring a little more flavor to the card. I'm going to bring the original card back in, and if you look down here, you'll notice that I added some flowers there. The flowers that I added, I actually picked those up at the end of the season at Michael's, and believe it or not, they were only $1/4, and they are from Prima. Some had kind of a frostiness on it, and you'll see that more when I go through some of the finished pages to share with you. Then I took some of these little flowers that I got at off QVC when they had a huge flower extravaganza sale. And also down here I added brads. Well, this is just a sampling of some of my brads. My son saw some marbles that he loves, so we bought them. But once we'd emptied out the marble container, I thought, ooh, great container to hold some of my little trinkets and gadgets. And so this is where I do have some of my brads. Show you for the sample, I just took those and put it through both pieces. And with brads, when you get them on the other side, you just open those wings, and from here I put a glue dot on there and affixed that to my piece. Coming back to my card, if you'll look here, I have my ribbon and it actually is stapled. I have one of those little small staples from Making Memories where you can actually change out the color of the staples. And so to do that, I took this, put it down, put the staple through, went through to the other side, put that on, and stapled it. And that left me with a loop that I could cut wherever I wanted and have a nice bow tied. That's what I did here. Now, let's take a look at the journaling cards I used. Now, these journaling cards are from My Mind's Eye, and they have a lot of different combinations that you can buy. I got these off of an extravaganza sale that Flowers to Flourishes was having. So I thought using my white Ranger gel pen would be really nice on these. Sounded good in theory, but when I actually went and took it to practice, I wasn't that excited about how it came out. It was okay, but that's me going over it like 3 or 4 times, and I did not want to do that every time I use that pen. So I retired it out. So I just stuck to a black Jelly Roll pen, and that's what I wound up with, and really liked it. So let me just clean up and share with you what they turned out to look like. There are 16 of these, so just sit back and enjoy. As always, thank you for joining me in the lab today as I share with you just how I finished up my Buddy Swap pages. I hope my recipients are really going to enjoy these. I have to go in there and clean up a little bit with some whiteout. Wasn't paying attention, but those things do happen. It's all a part of crafting and creating. Please remember to visit me at my blog, inkallusions.blogspot.com, where you'll find a lot more inspiration and information. Until then.